What's up, Fisherman Fanatics? So another video on one of the other tanks. You guys may not have seen these in a while, so I thought I'd bring them up today. These are our Lamprologus Werneri. And mind you, we got these guys when they were fried. They were slightly bigger than the Zenitoka Eisenai they were in the previous video. And we've had them for, oh goodness gracious, 3 weeks? Just shy of a month. Just shy of a month now. And you can see massive, just massive. These guys get to be like between 4 to 6 inches depending on where they are. And she's all of like 3.5 inches right now. 3 to 3.5 inches in a month. And there's a couple of other ones in here too. Let me see if I can find them. We have a lot of this kind of like debris and moss scattered all over the place because we have some cories in here too, along with our gold nugget plecos. The gold nugget pleco you can kind of see in the reflection here. Maybe. There you go. That's one of them. She's pretty. But we also have some CORYDORAS ERHARDTIs in here. There's like 5 or 6 of them in here. So we keep it super well planted for them because they like to hide out. Believe it or not, the other gold nugget. Hello. Oh, it's not going to focus. Come on. Please. Already took off. There was one in the strip right here. You can kind of see from here. It was poking its head out. It was kind of funny actually. There you go. Ah, it's not focusing. Likes to poke her head out. That's another female. And then we got some males in here as well that are scattered in. But we got a pretty good group of them. I want to say we got like 9 or 10 of them. These guys are super awesome. They're a lot like puppy dogs to me, and I say that a lot simply because I like fish that are extremely personable. I like the ones that have personality and attitude, and they'll get up and have no problem like swimming right up to the front of the glass and looking at you like you're disturbing them. Because technically you kind of are, but to see a fish actually get an attitude over it's great. And when you feed these guys, they're like just, I mean, pigs. I fed them a little bit ago, otherwise I'd feed them again. They switch on and off between some shrimp and some live foods, and then they get a little bit of like pellets or flake food depending on whatever we have available. And I say that because, you know, we don't have any fish food available for these guys. I've never showed the the food collection before, but we got pretty much everything. We also have frozen food we use too. So, but you can see these guys are aggressive towards each other, especially when they're getting ready to spawn. The females will kind of claim their space, and then that's pretty much where they stay. They'll guard that area until they spawn. There's a couple males. And they just took off. There's one still. See if I can get rid of some of this glare. You can see him, he's right there. He's hiding, he doesn't think we can see him. Little brat. But there's, like I said, there's a pretty good selection of them in here, a variety of them in here. And you got this one that literally just hides out in their ship. That's pretty much it. The ship is theirs. They stay there. They don't care. But we have another gold nugget pleco as well that's probably, let me move this stuff out of the way here real quick. Probably somewhere over in here. You know, I'm not seeing. Usually, that's where they are. Whoops. Not today, though. Anyways, so these guys are pretty cool. I personally, like I said, I think they're very personable fish. Especially when you go to feed them. I mean, you can see there's one just kind of kicking back right there. Staring, wondering what's going on. They'll swim around, they'll lay on stuff. They don't have to be constantly moving. They'll sit there and they'll kind of just fan so that they're getting water through their gills to breathe. But they'll literally, especially as fry, they'll swim around and then they'll land on something and just sit there. And then they'll stare at you. And then they'll get bored and then they'll start swimming again and then they'll land on something else. And it's still true even as adults. They kind of swim around a little bit and then they park. And then they start swimming again and then they park. So, I wonder if the gold nugget's in here. I don't know, it's somewhere. But like I said, we have this tank is pretty well covered on the bottom simply because of the cories. And there's going to be a lot of other tanks you're going to see that we have a lot of like Java moss or Naja grass or stuff like that covering basically the whole bottom, because a lot of the cories that we have will breed in the moss. They'll spawn in there, and this way it ensures that they have a better chance of the hatch rate of their eggs hatching without us actually worrying about them. So there's quite a few tanks that we have set up like this for that purpose. And I cycle through cories. Once I've breeded cory, it's gone. I mean, I've done green lasers, I've done Mateys, I've done pandas. I actually got Mateys over in another tank right now that will more than likely stay there. But I'm working on Habrosis. These are ERHARDTIs. I have some Schwartz Eye, the Con Colors, CW021s that I need to actually step my game up on and work on them a little bit more. But I have also got some albino NES, and I think that's it right now for cories. I'm pretty sure that's it. So we try to breed them and kind of cycle through them. I'm learning a lot more about cories because that's kind of what I'm getting into the most. I just find them cool, but I also still enjoy, like, in general, tropical fish. Like the Werneri are really awesome. We have the GBRs that are really awesome, German blue rams, and guppies are still fascinating to me because they're live bears. I have my limias and stuff like that, but cories are kind of where I'm leaning towards. So, ranting and raving, sorry, babbling. But yeah, the Werneris are really cool. If you guys have a chance to ever pick these up, they color up really nice. They get really, really dark gray or black stripes down them, so they look kind of like zebras, like a silver version of a zebra. A lot of people see them and they're just plain and gray, and they're like, oh, I don't want just this plain fish. But when they color up, they're really pretty. And you've seen some of the males that have swam by, they're just super dark. And I really wish I had one to show you guys like in full color right now. But there's one kind of hanging out in the tree there. You can see the stripes that are just barely starting to appear on that one. And they get super dark. I mean, like black, straight bars. They look really pretty when they do. So just something to keep in mind. You might run across a fish that you see in a bag or in a fish store, or if you're, you know, at an event, and it looks just like it's kind of silver and bland and just there's not a lot of color to it. I don't like her right now. You know, you go, ah, that's not a pretty fish, I don't want it. Give it a chance, because some of these guys are the most fun you'll ever have. And you can see her, she's staring right at me like, what are you doing? This isn't how this goes. But just give them a shot. You never really know what you're going to get till you have it. I strongly recommend stepping out of your comfort zone and getting those fish that aren't as pretty as some of the other ones or as colorful. Don't be that person that falls into that trend and just wants all of the super pretty colorful fish because they're pretty. Get into the hobby for the joy of keeping fish. You know, and I know that the prettier ones draw your eye and you're like, ah, that's so pretty, I want it. That's how it starts, and then eventually you should get to a point where you're either just like, okay, I have these pretty fish and I've ran out of time and I don't want to take care of anymore, or you get more into the hobby and you're like, well, now these fish have bred and I need another tank, and that's how MTS starts, multiple tank syndrome. It begins with one and ends with, I know people that have hundreds of tanks. We're not that bad, we're only in the 30s, but you know, that's because we've started to breed them and reproduce them, and we've gotten some of them that are a little more difficult and some of them that are a little bit easier, and it becomes a challenge because you get to enjoy keeping the fish, but at the same time you get to breed that fish. and you get to have more of that fish that you don't have to pay for. And that's what a lot of people don't understand, is any fish that you can get for free is a good fish. You know, it might be sick, it might be a little discolored or a little distorted or kind of crooked, but it happens, and it's still going to be a good fish as long as you take care of it, right? So I've got a guppy that's crooked, I mean completely crooked, looks like a check mark, and normally you would cull that one out because it isn't a colony of some fish that I'm working on, but she's made it this far, so why would I pull her now? Like, she's grown, she's made it to an adult, she's comfortable being the shape that she is and able to swim and able to eat and able to reproduce and do all the things that a normal fish can do. I understand that that can be hereditary, but why would I stop her now? She's done so well to this point, just let her roll, right? May not be the most beautiful fish, certainly not going to win any awards, but to me she's special. So I keep her. I've kept her since she was a fry. I noticed she was crooked as a fry, and I was like, one day I'm going to pull her, and as she's grown on me. But you get, like I said, you get into the hobby because you see a beautiful, colorful fish, and then eventually, hopefully, you see them for what they are. They're more than just pretty colors. They're personable. A lot of different fish have different personalities, and they can do some pretty crazy things if you give them a chance. Like I said, these Werneri, when they're frying juvies, they're just awesome. They'll swim on stuff, they'll land on it, and then they'll swim off, and it's just crazy. But anyways, I've rambled a bit. Sorry, guys. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, as always, drop them in the box below. If you haven't already, do us a huge favor. Hit that like, subscribe, and share button. And as always, happy fish keeping.